So in this webinar, I will introduce you the platform, and in particular, we will focus on showing you the full analytical capabilities of the product. What is Knowage? First of all, Knowage is an open source suite for modern business analytics. But in particular, it is a web application, which means that it is installed somewhere on some server, and it is called and launched using an URL. And the URL must be composed, of course, of an IP address, a port number, and /Noage. The platform, the term platform means that it gathers multiple engines, and often those engines are built and structured using embedded libraries and code. What does it mean to do business intelligence in general? We have 3 levels of business intelligence, of doing business intelligence. The first one, the basic one, it means to do data visualization. In this at this level, we can think that no particular IT skills are required. We can, of course, we can be interested in plotting and visualizing data, accessing big data and traditional data in general. We are interested in interactive dashboards, and we are interested in share and make the dashboard embeddable in other product. At the second level, where we do data analysis, we are interested in more advanced visualizations. We are interested in giving the opportunity to other end users to do their own analysis, and so we are evaluating, we are highlighting the self-service capabilities of the product. We are interested in doing reporting, and also we want to exploit the geographical functionalities, and to do also let's say we want to manage performance and monitoring, in particular KPIs. At the third level, we want to be able to do to apply machine learning and techniques. In particular, we want to do data and text mining. We want to be able to use R or Python codes, and or we want to do also semantic advanced researches and analytics. What is Noage policy? Noage is an open source product, and it follows open standards, which means that it is a web application that it can be it is opened inside the browser. We see it at the first slide, and the interface is JavaScript structure and using Angular, also AngularJS code, and it has a community and also an enterprise edition. It has a responsive GUI, which is also ready for mobile. It's an OEM, which stands for Original Equipment Manufacturer, and in other words means to allow the product to be marketed by another manufacturer after having signed, of course, an agreement. And it is, of course, cloud ready. A few words for the community edition. We don't have to think that the community edition is a lower product. Of course, community and open source means to be free to download. is usable under the AGPL3 license, but it has full capabilities for end users. So it has the whole set of analytical capabilities entirely free under an open source license, and is a part of the it has a community-based support, and you can find general documentations and of course webinars. The Enterprise Edition is available under an annual subscription, and it is usable under the AGPL exceptions. So it means typically no constraints. It guarantees be able to be an OEM, so it gives you the freedom to be an OEM enabler. It has facilities for the administrator and advanced features also for end users. And most of all, it has guarantees the maintenance and professional services. On our website, you can find the edition comparison, and you see that you have the three perspectives. So you have a comparison between the end user and the developer and the admin perspective, considering these three perspectives. And you can find, for instance, you can check if the reporting is available in which edition. And as you may notice, the only capabilities that are considered only in the Enterprise Edition are the advanced ones. The website is the noagesuite.com website, and we will see later. We will go on the web just in a few minutes. Just continue with some more little bit description of the product. It has a modular offering. Considering the Enterprise Edition, we thought of giving the user to focus on specific purposes. What does it mean? We decided to build 6 modules, each one conceived for a specific analytical domain. They can be used individually or combined with one another to ensure full coverage of users' requirements, allowing to build a tailored product. The modules are defined, and the price list is very clear. And again, on the website, you will have the module comparison, so you can understand which module contains which functionalities. Just to describe a little bit what are those models, what those models are. For instance, BD stands for big data, and it gives the opportunity to work with the big data sources, and of course also the traditional ones, to build federating data sets, and also to build, of course, different analysis such as static reports, maps, interactive cockpits, data and text mining models. The SI module stands for Smart Intelligence, and the keyword for this module is the self-service. When you are interested in this model, it means that you want to allow the end user, the very end user with no IT skills at all, to perform his own analysis. The ER stands for Enterprise Reporting, and refers to the delivery of functional information to a diversified set of users. The keyword for these modules is pixel perfect and ready to print layout. And typically this module is synonym of report, and synonym in particular of BERT report. BERT is the Eclipse product that we have embedded inside Noage. The LI stands for location intelligence. It means plotting business data over a map, over space, over a vectorial picture. The performance management concerns the ability to measure and evaluate your business performances. In particular, the keyword for this module is KPI, but it's not also only KPI, but also the capability of Noise to perform real-time computation. So it means you want to monitor the if a KPI reached the target no or not in real time, in a very short range of time. You want to monitor a KPI, for instance, every 10 minutes, 15 minutes. But the keyword for the PM module, the performance management module, is KPI together with real time. The PA module stands for predictive analysis and concerns the ability to perform advanced processing using data mining techniques for forecasting and prescriptive purposes. Again, on the website, you find all the comparisons between those modules in the three perspectives, and the users, developer, and admin. What is Noage architecture? The architecture can be visualized with this cloud, because Noage wants to be able to access every kind of data, every kind of data source. So you can access the Mongo one, the Cassandra one, also the MySQL, Oracle, Spark, Hive, and etc. We want to access every kind of data and every kind of data sources. Still, we want to be able to reach and exploit REST services, the CCAN, or to load also our files, our CSV or XLS files, and we want to be able to share our knowledge and our product and our analytical documents on cloud, and we base our cloud on Asia. The process is very simple, because we we extract raw data, and we prepare and we define what we call data sets, and which means to store a result set in a place called data sets, which is just can be thought like the result set coming from a query, for instance, from querying a data set, a data source. And we want also the process keeps on going, building analysis that we want to share with the very end user. And when I think of the very end user, I mean the one with no particular IT skills. And we want generally speaking, we want to give the opportunity to these kind of end users to be able to perform also their self-service analysis, to exploit, of course, the documents that we built, and also make its own analysis. This picture gives a better portrait of the situation, means that we have on the left side, let's say the technical users that have direct access to all kind of data, the traditional one, big data, REST services, and CSV files, and etc. And we built dashboards and cockpits, and we built a set on analysis. On the other side, we have the end user, so the one that we think that has not particular knowledge of the IT, but we want to give him or her access to smart access to the data through a middle layer that we call meta model. The meta model can be thought as a simplified version of a data source. And then the user access to the meta model, retrieve data and stored it again in the result set in a data set, and perform its own analysis or her own analysis, building dashboards on the platform. A little bit of history of Noage. Noage is is a product of the engineering group. As you can see, we have more than 16,000 professionals over 20 countries, and we offer IT and ITC solutions in all kind of fields: the digital finance, the smart government, and e-health, and etc. I go quickly because we don't want to know much about engineering, but few words about the product. We started in 2005 when engineering group founded Spago World, an open source enterprise grade software aiming at the development of a highly flexible and adaptable product. The initiative evolved from the release of Spago, and this was the open source release of a solution designed to cover the lack of open source solid Java enterprise frameworks at the beginning of the century. From there, engineering group proceeded with the launch of 3 open source projects: Spago BI, Spago for Q, and Spagic. The projects were hosted by the Forge of W2 community. And yeah, the Spago World initiative has given rise to other projects within the Eclipse Foundation community that has stimulated the creation of new initiatives. So starting from the 2005, where we saw the birth of Spago BI product. During the time we joined the Eclipse platform, and we collaborate also with Red Hat. In 2016, the product was changed, and we launched the new product called Noage. And nowadays, we are embedding also the Solar. We are collaborating also with Solar and Python community. And you can see, we will see later that we have integrated those libraries, those engines inside the platform. Some examples and use cases we prepared. From this slide on, we will see some examples. Some are just examples, so they are just taking sample data. In particular, this one, we pretend that we want to monitor the traffic accident in New York City, and this kind of documents is a dashboard. It is made up of what we call widgets, and each widgets can contain maps, can contain charts, or KPIs, or also I would say aggregated KPI, aggregated measures. And those widgets are meant to be interactive, so I can click or want to be able to filter, for instance, the map over a category of the chart of the bar chart, for instance. We will see later live what I mean with the interactivity between widgets and the dashboards in general. Again, we see another example of dashboard. of interactive dashboards. From now on, we will see some screens from real projects. In this one in particular is coming from the eHealth, the public health service of Modena. And here we monitored in the occupants of the emergency rooms of 4 different hospitals. And what it is very meaningful in this analysis that we want to monitor the this KPI that is called NADOX, which tells the healthcare workers if the emergency rooms are overloaded or not. And this is computed real time every 10 minutes. And also the trends here during the entire day is updated every 10 minutes. So it starts from 8 o'clock in the morning, and every 10 minutes we see that this scale is updated, and hours keep on going. And we see the trend that at the end of the day, we can see the trend of the NADOX KPI. And here again, another example. And again, this comes from a real project where we followed the car dealer in terms of stockage of the cars, or the how many cars are shared or not, and etc. I go just a little bit quicker now. Again, you see that we have very diversified kind of dashboards. You may think that all those examples are based on the same engine, of course, the dashboard one. And you see that you can perform, and you have very high flexible layout. Okay, what is coming next? I want to stop here. Okay, the 7th version of Noage will contain the Python widget, also the Solar one, the discovery widget. But I will show you, I want to show you some practical example. So I exit the presentation and we go on our website. Here. This is our website where you can find the product description in terms of modules. You will find the edition comparison that we saw in the presentation. Most of all, you can find the online demo and the free support in particular, where you find the documentation, or you can join the Q&A community. You can you find the download page where you find all the new released version of Knowage for both Windows or Unix. And of course, you have also you are able to download, if you want, the previous versions. In particular, here you have the tutorials for installing the product. And as I told you, you have also the free support, and you can find also the documentation here. To see something from real, we exploit what we do, what we did for the COVID emergency. Here, I click on Go to Cockpits. Sorry, I did a login in the platform, so let me log out. Because when you click on this button, you are directed to this web page. So here you can log in the platform, but this is public, and for now it's not allowed to enter the platform unless you are part of the group. And here you can exploit what we built for everyone to check the situation, the spread out of COVID on worldwide scale. So if you click on here, worldwide data, you are directed to the dashboard we created. And here you can find at the bottom, sorry, let me rewind and say, this is a dashboard. So it is creating on Noage using the dashboard, the cockpit engine. As I told you in the presentation, the cockpit is based on widgets. It's composed, sorry, of widgets. So it means that on the top we have the first widget containing the major KPIs related to COVID. Of course, in particular, we have the number of new confirmed cases and the percentage compared to the number returned yesterday, and the percentage compared to the last week. The number recovered people, the number of deaths, and the number of new confirmed cases. Again, for each of them, we have the percentage of the number compared with yesterday and compared with the previous week. Here then you have the map widget. Sorry, it's a little bit slow. Okay. Where you find the presentation of the measure that we saw at the bottom, plotting them on the map, of course, on the world map. You have the scale color, the color scale represented here. And if you open the, click on this button, you find other measures to be plotted. Here we are seeing the total confirmed cases. But if you want to plot the died people, we can change here. You see that the map has been updated, has been changed accordingly. And again, if you want to check the recovered, here we have. In particular, if you want to see more details, we click on the state, and we see, of course, which state we clicked on and the number of confirmed cases, died, and recovered. So the three measures are collected in this tooltip that we find when we click on the state. So we have Spain, Italy, Russia, and etc. At the bottom, we find a table, and you may notice that we can order the table on some field just clicking on the title of the field of the column. If, for instance, if you want to highlight which is the highest country, let's say the highest cases increase, which country gets the highest cases increase, we can click on the column name, and you see that the records are ordered. And here, notice that here we have a pagination for the table, so you can scroll the table using the pagination here. And you have some more options. Each widget contains more options using the dots here. Particular here, we can screenshot the widgets itself, or talking about the table, we have some more options, which are, for instance, the possibility to perform some search on, for instance, the columns country. For maybe I want to check the Peru country, and I go search for Peru, and here I find exactly the record I was looking for, and I can erase the selection, and I can ask for to export the Excel of this table. Again, I can do the screenshot, or I can enlarge to full screen, and etc. So notice that each widget has its own features correlated. In particular, at the bottom of these dashboards, we see that the dashboards has been created using open data, using data sources coming from the Hopkins University. And another thing that you may notice that we have more than one sheet associated to this dashboard. In fact, here we are looking at the overview, but we can move to the comparison sheet contained in this dashboard, where we find another perspective of the analysis about COVID. Again, we have new confirmed cases, recovered people, deaths, and confirmed cases, but related only to the countries we have selected. Here we see that we have the countries and the period selector widget, which means that you can filter. You may think of those widgets like filters. For instance, here, sorry, I say it again. From in this sheet, we see that we are plotting using lines, line charts. Other indicators like the total confirmed cases, and in particular, we are plotting cumulative data from the beginning of the outbreak, and we can focus using the legend on a specific country. Here we can zoom the I don't know, the week that we are interested in. We can go back using the reset zoom. We can again enlarge to full screen. We can ask to change the chart type in another one. In particular, you may notice that here it is specified that we can click on top to see other measures, which means that those icons are clickable, and the action direct popped up a wizard which contains the same measure compared to the same chart using a logarithmic scale. The selectors make us change the states. If you want, for instance, to check what is going on Australia, we can select just Australia. You see that every widget is updated. Or we can change the period and say, make me see the entire 4 months period. See how the charts are changed accordingly. If you want to restore the dashboard from the beginning, we can click on the reload button here. And that's it. We prepare other analysis, but specifically for Italy. I'll let you notice that in each box you can find also the video associated. You can find it on YouTube. So if you lost something, you can go here, click here, and you will find all the information, really, a brief description of those dashboards. So I promised you to let you see the full capabilities of the platform. In particular, we saw the dashboards. We have some tips about the dashboards, dashboard engines, but this is not, of course, the only kind of documents we can create on Noage. To have an overview over the product, unfortunately, I cannot exploit this demo, so I will use a presentation a recorded presentation, and we start from here. Sorry, not here, but from here, where we start to load inside the platform here. So, and in this presentation, my colleague installed Knowage on his own laptop, his own computer, and he launched Knowage and typed the URL on the browser. I recommend you to use Chrome as browser because Noage is best performing on Chrome. And this is the login page of Noage. And you insert your credentials. Here we are login the page, the product as technical user, as administrators. And this is the entrance page. On the left side, we find the menu button. If you click on menu, the panel opens. And I stop here, and since you are an administrator, you have all access to all the tools that are available for the administrators. So talking about data, we have the access to configuring the data sources and the data set access, the access to the data set configuration as well. We have the section where we set all the information about the users. So we create roles, users. We have the access to the menu configuration and functionalities management. And with functionalities, we may think of let's say the folder structure, the folder tree. You prepare for the environment. This menu is very specific for a technical user, so don't worry if you don't know what all of those are used to, are meant for. Sorry. Let's focus on two things. Here the menu panel, where you find all information about the user that has logged in, but in particular you have the documents development section, where you find everything that is every analytical documents done by the technical user, and the workspace section, which is a section that is very important for the end user, so the non-technical ones. And beneath the workspace menu item, you find the menu itself. With these nodes are direct access to the documents. So you can find documents inside the documents development section, but also you can reach specific documents that the technical user created and built for us using these nodes. And we will see in the presentation what I mean with those words. Let me see. Okay, so here we entered see that we entered the documents development section where we find the folder created by the technical user, but also the collection of personal folders. The personal folders are the folders containing the analytical documents done by other users, by me and by others, me as an administrator, but also by other administrators, by other end users. So everywhere, sorry. Every time we create the first dashboard, a personal folder is created. So in the document browser, we find the personal folders related to every users, and the functionalities tree that contains the functionalities, the folders where we as administrator, I said again, we created for me or for third users, for other users. So here we created the folders like we are collecting documents accordingly to the engines we use for developing them. Particular, we can, so here we notice that we can create reports. And when I say reports, I think about reports with BERT. We create dynamic maps. We create dimensional analysis, which is a synonym for, let's say, OLAP cube. DWTIF, which is the OLAP cube that allows us to perform data entry. The SVG viewer, the KPI, and again the cockpit documents. So this these folders reflect the the kind of analytical documents I can do using Noage. These are not all the analytical documents I can do, but the main ones. Here we are on the OLAP. Sorry, let me go just a little bit on here. So here we entered the reports folder and we launched a report. When it opens, we notice that differently from the COVID dashboards, the document that I'm going to open is a static one. It is built on the Eclipse product called BERT. This kind of documents must be used when we want to create very sophisticated, very advanced tables, and we want to be sure that the export produces very pixel perfect layout. And here I let you notice that the layout is quite different from the other that we saw using the COVID dashboards. I say again that this kind of visualization is static, but we are allowed to do a lot of aggregated and computed fields. And associated to this, in particular associated to these documents, we see that we have other filters, let's say outside of the document. So it means that every time you change the filter, the documents is reloaded and rendered again. Here, sorry. Okay, let's see another example. For instance, we see the GIS map of the USA. It's very similar to the map that we saw for the COVID dashboards, but in this case, this is an entire document an entire GIS document. The measures are plotted. Sorry, I wanted to go quick because here I want to highlight the measures. Sorry. Similarly to what we saw earlier, if we click on states, we find that the tooltip pops up. So containing all the information, all the information related on the region. Opening the side panel, we can change the visualization of the data, moving to map zone to map point. Okay. Okay, let me go on. Clicking here on the menu, just on the bottom side, you find the legend, but the color used for plotting the data. Just an example, the Ola cube. The Ola cube is based on Mondian server. And the OLAP, let's say it's can be thought like a cross table, but it's a dynamic cross table. On the bottom, we see some, sorry, let me say it again. The OLAP cube is based on dimensions. All those cards, the product, the stores, the measures, the time, and the customers are dimensions. The great thing about the OLAP is that we can move dimensions, and every time that we move, we have different aggregations of the measures that we are monitoring. The OLAP cube performs to filter every card, every dimension on every level that we want. So it's very, very easy to have every perspective of the measure that we want. Okay, this is a product store. You notice that every dimension is made up of a father node, let's say, and then we have the members of the node at different level. So we can perform drill downs on measures. You notice that here I am moving the dimensions. We can move dimensions. We can perform drill down or drill up. Okay. What else? And yeah, similar to the OLAP, but it allows us to do data entry is the what if engine. And if we click on the cell, for instance, we can do some forecasting, asking for adding some to insert some formulas and see how this changement affects the other measures, so the upper level of the measure. Sorry if I go quick because I wanted to say a lot of things, but we don't have time. Just I want to show you an example of KPI. The KPI are, sorry, the concept of KPI is very to say misunderstandable. A lot of we can call KPI everything. I mean, we can call KPI which every measure, every number we are interested in. But when we think about KPI inside Knowage, when I say in particular KPI engine, we are thinking about the monitoring of a certain indicator computed by means of a formula. And in particular, the engine is scheduled, is correlated to a schedulation of the formula. So the number that we are seeing here in this picture, in this presentation, is computed every short range of time. Is computed every, for instance, every 10 minutes, every 50 minutes, every half an hour. So the KPI without the schedulation of the indicator itself is not meaningful. We will not call it KPI inside Noage. And that's it. I'm sorry if the presentation is very quick. I really would like to have more time to see every kind of capabilities present inside Knowage. But if you want to take more time and want something, see more or slower the presentation, we have uploaded a small overview and on YouTube. So just click look for overview Knowage 7 and you will find the presentation here, so you can have your time to see better all the analytical documents that I showed you right now. Since we are running out of time, I just want to show you a few videos. Sorry if I closed the folder I had prepared before, so let me enter my folder. What I wanted to show you here is the new feature of Noage 7 R3. Even let's say 3 is not enough, R4, but I show you 3. The 4 that I'm thinking about are the possibility to insert discovery widgets inside the dashboards, GIS widgets. So we don't need to create map documents outside of the dashboards. We can have our map inside the dashboard as well as we seen inside the COVID dashboards, and we have also the Python widget. And a fourth novelty about the Knowage 7 version is also the new QBE interface that unfortunately we cannot see right now. But I show you these 3 new widgets. What does it mean to, sorry, this is very quick. What does it mean to have the possibility to insert the Python widgets? It means to be able to embed Python code inside the dashboards itself. It's just a window inside the platform, inside the document, where we can embed our Python code to have, of course, the Python capabilities. And the good thing about inserting, of course, the Python widgets is to exploit the Python capabilities, of course, but also the interactions between those the standard widgets and the Python widgets is always assured. So you don't have to worry to lose interactivity if you're inserting a Python widgets. The interactivity, of course, is assured. And in the presentation, we are looking at the Python graphs. You see that we can perform selections. Okay, this goes very quickly. And just to have a look inside the configuration of the Python code, you see that we enter the edit mode of the widget, and you see that we have a window here where we can insert our Python script, and we say which output library we want to use, which is bokeh in this case, and that's it. Very similar, we see that in the Noage 7 version, we have also integrated the Solar engine that allows us to perform text mining. You see that we have a faceted detailed view thanks to Solar. And the reason to use this kind of widget is that the text research is very, very quick. I stopped just a second. You see that you remember probably that when we saw the COVID dashboards, I used the lookup icon to look for a specific country, the Peru one. Okay, and the time that we got the response from the engine was, let's say, 1 or 2 seconds. When we use the Solar widget, the time of response is very, very lower. So we have a response time of less than 1 second. It's very quick. And this is the reason why when we have a lot of data we want to assure the performance of the dashboards when we perform text research, we recommend to use the discovery widget. Again, the interaction between the widgets is assured. In these dashboards, we notice that when we perform a selection, every sheet of the dashboard composing the dashboards is affected by the selection. Okay, as I told you, you can have a full text research, and the response time is very, very slow. It's very low. The last thing that I want to show you is the GIS widget. And you can, as we saw again for the COVID dashboards, use this icon to open the side menu panel and change the measure plotted to see or decide if to show them or not. We can zoom. You saw that, as you can see, that we have a very high level of zooming. Just to see how to configure the widget, just shortly, how to configure the widget. I stop here. We entered the edit mode of the dashboard, and then we entered the edit mode of the widget itself. And you see that every layer of the every measure is associated to a data set, and we can decide entering the edit mode of the widget which measure to plot to let the user to exploit. If you want to change the name, we can the alias, we can do it here. We can change markers, we can change colors, and etc. And the map widget inside dashboard is very, very useful, I can assure you. And that's it. I suggest you to go on our website, because here you can find all the information about the product, the license. You can have access to the free support. You can download the product, and you can have a taste of what dashboards looks like using the COVID dashboards prepared for everyone. For every question you can, I recommend you to join our Q&A community. I hope that this short presentation was helpful, and thank you for your attention. Goodbye to everyone.